I'm Bo Johnson. The phrase color of law means the appearance of authority without the substance of lawful right. It describes any act of government that looks legal but lacks lawful foundation, when power is exercised not by consent or jurisdiction, but by presumption. You'll find it in 18 U.S.C. section 242, the federal statute that makes it a crime to deprive someone of their rights under color of law. But the deeper danger is not found in a single act of abuse. It's a system that operates by presumption instead of proof, and obedience instead of consent. Let's look at the system behind the color of law mask. After the Civil War, a second class of citizenship was created, citizen of the United States, extending federal jurisdiction into places it did not constitutionally belong. Then, through the rise of the administrative state, hundreds of agencies began writing and enforcing regulations with the force of law, rules never enacted by Congress, yet binding upon every American. That's not representation. That's rule by regulation. And it thrives under color of law, the illusion of lawful authority sustained by habit and by fear. Let's look at the case that exposed this principle. In 1947, the Supreme Court decided Federal Crop Insurance Corporation versus Merrill. A group of Idaho farmers were told by a federal agent that their wheat was insured. They trusted the government. They planted their fields and lost everything in a storm. When the farmers filed a claim, Washington refused to pay. Buried deep within the Federal Register was a regulation excluding their type of wheat, a rule even the government's own agent didn't know existed. And yet the Supreme Court ruled for the government. The justices said that even if the agent was wrong, even if the citizens relied upon the agent in good faith, the people were still bound by the hidden regulation. In short, the citizen must know every secret rule and all regulations, but the government bears no duty to speak to truth. That rule marked a turning point in America, an age where appearance of law overruled justice under the law, where bureaucracy replaced morality, and where procedure became the shield of power. Color of law is not confined to Washington. It lives in every city and county that forgets its limits. Consider a simple example: a chimney repair ordinance. A city code states that a permit is required only when the structure of a chimney is altered. That is the lawful rule. But then the inspections department issues a stop work order halting all chimney repairs, even cosmetic work, claiming broad authority when none exists. That order looks official, a seal, a signature, maybe even a threat of fines. But it's unlawful because it exceeds the jurisdiction of the ordinance. It's an administrative overreach disguised as law, the appearance of legality without the substance of authority. This is color of law in everyday life. The citizens comply not because they have broken a law, but because they fear the machinery of enforcement. They assume the government's word must be final, and that assumption becomes consent. The fear reveals how deep the illusion has taken root. Americans have been conditioned to ask, "Am I allowed to?" That shift from conscience to compliance is the quiet victory of color of law, the people's enemy. When a free people begin to seek permission to act within their own rights, the republic has already been replaced by a managerial state. Tyranny no longer needs a dictator, it only needs a compliant public. What's the remedy? The cure for color of law is not rebellion, it's recognition. Every lawful government must prove its authority before it can compel obedience. That proof lies in the record, the statute, the jurisdiction, and the oath. If any of these are missing, the act is void, no matter how official it appears. He who claims authority must prove it. That single principle restores the balance between servant and sovereign. When the people remember that consent, not fear, is the source of power, the illusion collapses, the color fades, as it were, and law, true law, regains its light. Visit yestohellwith.com, and as always, may truth reign supreme.